Alright, guys, so the first bit of this is going to be a spoiler-free discussion about Andor Season 2. Just going to give a broad overall review of Season 2, and then I will do a spoiler-re discussion of the last 3 episodes. I really liked this season of television. Andor is my favorite Star Wars thing ever. Now, just to clarify, I don't actually care that much about Star Wars. I don't have a ton of nostalgia for either the prequels or the original trilogy. I'm such a casual Star Wars fan that I'm not sure if I've actually watched the original trilogy. I feel like I know it, but I can't tell if that's just from pop culture or if I ever actually sat down and watched The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. I feel like I can't tell if I just kind of know what happens in those movies or if I've actually seen them. I feel the same way about The Hunger Games Mockingjay. I can't remember if I've actually watched that last movie or if I just know what happens because I read the book. But yeah, so that's the thing. I don't have any love for the original trilogy nor the prequels, especially the prequels. I think those are dog shit. So I say that to say that I'm not saying that Andor is one of the greatest shows of all time. I'm not saying that it's as revolutionary as other people perceive the original trilogy to be or anything like that. I just think it's a really good, really solid TV show. And it absolutely is the template for how Disney Plus should handle their Disney Plus shows, right? Stop it with these 6-episode nonsense garbage that's shot on the volume. Give me one Marvel show a year that's 12 to 15 episodes, that has super lavish production, that has real sets, that's just really incredible. Give me one of those a year. Give me one Star Wars show a year that's the same way. I really think that this is the way forward, because what Tony Gilroy has done with Andor is really freaking impressive. The scale of it is really great. It never feels like it's contained to the volume stage. They actually built out sets. They actually go out and shoot on location. It's really good stuff. The writing, really great. The way that this show showcases an organic rise against fascism, the way that they really showcase the rise of the rebellion is some of the best stuff that has ever been in Star Wars, right? It unironically makes me more excited about Star Wars. I plan on rewatching Rogue One. I think it's going to serve as a really cool season finale or series finale. And then I think I'm going to watch the original trilogy again. Actually confirm that I've seen it. And I think it will be better because I've seen Andor, because now I have all of this context. I've never been more invested in the world of Star Wars, just in general, than I am right now that I've watched Andor. I think that some of the performances in here are incredible. The guy who plays Luthen, he's so good. The girl who plays Deidre, so fucking good. Was the guy Krennic Ben Mendelsohn? He has a scene in here that's if there was an Emmy for best scene, I'll just say there's an interrogation scene that I think is damn Ben Mendelsohn, that's some good ass shit. And Cassian Andor I think is a really cool character too. I didn't give a shit about him after Rogue One, but yeah, no, by the end of this series, I'm oh shit, he's really cool. Now I'm sad. but they actually make, I guess, spoiler alert for Rogue One, they make his death in Rogue One more meaningful. This is a show that is not just a really good standalone show, but it unironically makes everything about Star Wars better. Because it makes the Empire actually scary. It makes it really showcases why there would be a rebellion that rises up against him. Why there had to be a rebellion. Why these people could not continue enduring this space fascism or whatever. So yeah, man, Andor's really great. Highly recommend it. If you're somebody that's kind of fallen off of Star Wars, completely understandable, but get into Andor. Like, Andor's the one thing that you really should watch if you care at all about Star Wars. And then I would probably recommend then, do a watch like I'm about to do of Rogue One and then the original trilogy. And then maybe stop there. Like, I don't know, who gives a shit about the prequels or the sequel trilogy at this point. But yeah, anyways, let's get into the last 3 episodes, okay? If you don't want to be spoiled, leave, get out of here. Nobody cares about you, nobody loves you. Bye. Yeah, so starts off with fucking Luthen doing what you gotta do. You know what I mean? Again, the show does a really good job of showing the darker parts of the rebellion. Right before it was this clean and tidy sort of army that we see in the original trilogy. It's like they show that no. In order to build something like that, in order to build up Yavin or whatever, you gotta get your hands dirty. You know what I mean? When you're doing all the more covert stuff. And Luthen had to kill his fucking guy that was in the Empire. He also had a family. What happened to his family? Who's to say? We don't actually see it. I like seeing his final confrontation with Deidre. That was a really great performance from both of those actors. And then seeing him do that ultimate sacrifice for the rebellion, right? And jump off of a ravine in Minecraft, we'll say. I thought that was really cool. And we also see his backstory with Clea. Like, I've always liked these two characters and their relationship. Just, like, purely, like, mostly based off of their performances. Like the guy who plays Luthen and the girl who plays Clea, they're not given a ton of meat to work with as far as like lore and backstory, but they're just like such good actors that I really like those two characters. And then we actually get Luthen's backstory with her, and we learn that they had like almost a Joel and Ellie type of relationship, and it was really great. Like I really loved that. Like I could have watched an entire show just based off of them surviving together. We also see Deidre get screwed over by the Empire. Like, it's so I love how just like how much the Empire just sucks. It's like, why would anybody want to work with these guys? You like barely mess up, or I mean, to be fair, she messed up kind of and to a large degree, but it's like you mess up and it's like you're not just like reprimanded, you're not just like fired, you're like thrown into a gulag or you're like force choked out by Vader. Again, like the show just does like a really good job of showing how truly evil the Empire is, and like how, I guess, like how dark the dark side of the Force is, because all of this is in service of the Emperor and the dark side and whatnot, which is cool. I love the Mission Impossible operation that Clea has to do to finish off Luthen. Like a really phenomenally just directed sequence that was really just like really great. Oh yeah, this is the scene that I was talking about. This scene of Krennic interrogating Deidre is so good. The way it's shot, Ben Mendelsohn's performance, the actress who plays Deidre also, just like genuinely incredible stuff. Like one of the best scenes in a television show I've seen in recent years. I really like seeing Andor show up and saving Clea, kind of like talking her off a ledge to some extent, because it seems like she was going to jump off of a ravine in Minecraft as well after losing Luthen. I also like how people like Mon Mothma and Basil Oregano or whatever his name is, and like the other rebellion leader, like I like how distrustful they are of Luthen, right? It's kind of like interesting how he built this whole thing up and he had to do it using shady tactics, and everybody hates him for it. And yeah, it's just interesting to see that dynamic of how, like, everything that he was willing to do and sacrifice, and even the respect he was willing to sacrifice for the rebellion. I really like seeing that stuff. And yeah, the whole sequence was really cool and well done with K2SO saving them. Really good stuff again. I think that Cassian Andor was like, look, Luthen sucks. He's cringe. But you know what? His slander will not be tolerated because none of you would be here without him. And I appreciate that. Andor, he's a homie. He's a real one. You know what I mean? I like seeing how Bro had to end it all. Like, I will say, one, like, I mean, it's not a negative thing, necessarily, but it is just funny how they have to, like, push aside all the characters that aren't in Rogue One to, like, explain why they're not involved. They're like, some of them had to die. People like Deidre had to be imprisoned. Clea had to just be like, I don't know, what is she doing? Soul searching, I guess. But it is just funny how we got to figure out how to get all these people out of the way for Rogue One. But yeah, by the end, the way that it's leading into the Rogue One mission was really awesome. Like, I even love how even getting people to, like, greenlight the mission of stealing the Death Star plans or whatever is like a Herculean ordeal in and of themselves. Like, dealing with all that bureaucracy. I really like how they go into the nitty gritty of explaining all of that. But yeah, man, like, by the end of it, as we're seeing Andor getting ready to do the mission in Rogue One, it's like the most hyped I've ever been about Star Wars. It's the most into this world I've ever been. And it's awesome. Like, it's really good stuff. And I love the way it ends. It ends with fucking... Or is this the last shot? I don't remember. But either way, one of the last shots is Bix holding her and Andor's baby. And, like, this part makes Rogue One more impactful for me. Because, I mean, I haven't seen it again, but I assume it will. Because this is everything that he's fighting for, right? This is the future that he's fighting for, I guess. Until the First Order comes about. Do we even know how the First Order came about? Is that a thing that's ever been explored? I don't even know. Anyways, this is the future that Andor fought for like 40 years, I guess. But yeah, no. Andor's really great. It's phenomenal. I think Disney should be doing everything that they can to get Tony Gilroy back for something. Like, I feel like the dream project at this point would be to convince Tony Gilroy to do, like, Knights of the Old Republic, I guess. But, I mean, like, if he doesn't actually want to do it, because it seems like he just wants to... Like, he's been doing Star Wars for, like, 10 years now, ever since Rogue One. If he really does just not want to do it, then I guess don't force him, because that's also probably not going to be good. That's not necessarily going to lead to a good quality show. But, like, you need to find another Tony Gilroy. You need to find a great showrunner with a vision that genuinely wants to tell a story and have them do Knights of the Old Republic and make it as good as Andor. Like, that has to be the vision. Sorry, I don't think that Dave Filoni is a good enough showrunner. We'll see if he improves with Ahsoka Season 2, but I don't think he will. Like, they need to go in this direction of Andor, of getting really talented filmmakers involved and just make great television. Make less, but make it better. That's my take. That's my video, I guess. So yeah, let me know what you think overall. What do you think of Andor? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's mid, as the kids say? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, like the video, subscribe, do all that jazz. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.